Ooh, thank you for that intro, Tom Waits. That's a good song by Tom. It's big in Japan. You might like to know, this is on the sunchronicle.com and Facebook and YouTube, and The Good Life with Rusty is big in Japan. You should see the numbers. There's something. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little later. I'd like to talk today about wine. Now, here's a quote from Diogenes, that famous guy. What I like to drink most is wine that belongs to others. And I think we all agree with that. I'm going to talk today about wine, red wine. I'm not going to specify any particular kind of wine that you should be drinking that I'm going to recommend. I'm just going to recommend wine in general, and I'll tell you in a moment why that's important. I have here a bottle of Old Vine Zin from Gnarly Head, which isn't bad. Here's a good trick if you know how to do this. Good grip. You can take this off without having to damage anything. And you have this, and if you're smoking a cigar, and you happen to be on the beach, you can butt your cigar in there or stash anything you happen to be smoking. I always carry an opener like this in case of a wine emergency. As you know, there are many different kinds of wine openers around. The reason we're talking about wine today is because a recent study at the University of Barcelona indicates that if you drink wine, you may not get sunburned. This is a good cork, excuse me. Whew. Sometimes you got to stand up and get it real tight between your legs. Hope the kids ain't watching. Listen, anyway, on this University of Barcelona study, they found that the flavonoids, let me read this here, this is very scientific. The flavonoids found in grapes work to halt a chemical reaction that kills skin cells and causes sun damage. When UV rays hit your skin, they activate reactive oxygen species, or ROS, which then oxidize big molecules like lipids and DNA. This activates particular enzymes that kill skin cells. But the flavonoids in grapes, they work to decrease the formation of the ROSs. So, and this was published, and this has been endorsed by the Spanish National Research Council, and it was published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry. Well, who are you going to believe? So, take a little wine, bigger the glass, the better the bouquet. You get that off camera. Have a little sip. Of course, if you drink enough red wine, you'll have a nice rosy skin tone anyway. And you won't have to sit, even go out and sit in the sun. I'll talk to you today since, as Tom Waits reminded me, I'm big in Japan. This is, it's summertime, and living the good life is easy. Fish are jumping and all that stuff. So keep your red wine. Make sure you're getting enough in your system. Look at some fan mail that I've received. This one, I think my daughter posted this on Facebook. Just when you think your parents are too old to embarrass you, this happens. Well, there was positive stuff too. I heard that someone in a hospital in Pennsylvania saw a couple of episodes, and it really cheered them up. Hey, sorry, hey, there it is in paper, it's written right down. Another piece that said, take that half-naked picture of you off the fridge. Well, I did, and in fact, I even got rid of the fridge. Look into the camera lens, not the screen. It looks like you were talking to someone behind us. Ooh, okay. Position the lens so it shows you in the shaker and the glass and the drinks, etc., etc. And more trivia about the drink or the ingredients with the glass or something like when you tell a story. Looking forward to the next episode. Thanks, Mom. Here's one from Texas. Upon seeing your videos and your references to alcoholic beverages that we know nothing of, bitters and absinthe for starters, we would like to see more on the history of the beverages. Love the info on rye whiskey. What about the bourbons, tequilas, rums, and vodkas? Well, you got to keep watching, and they don't have absinthe in Texas. Whether they're bitter about it. Here's, let's see, here's one said, okay, I watched episode 1. I liked it. The sound was better, and it seemed like you were speaking up a little more. I could hear most of what you said. It says, you're very at ease in front of the camera. Well, that's a long time experience. I'd like to see you do one on oysters. The different kinds, PEI, blue points, etc. How to shuck them, how to grill them, how to eat them, stuff like that. I'd like to see some episodes shot outside on the deck or somewhere when the weather gets nice. Well, you did see that. And oysters may be in the future. Asked a poignant question about oysters. When you eat oysters, raw oysters, are they dead or alive? That's your shucker. Let's see, here's one that came from 3 people who described themselves as really important network executives. Some early episodes of your series, The Good Life with Rusty, have come to our attention. We think the show has major network potential. Have you considered lengthening it to an hour or 90 minutes, adding big-name guest stars and cash and prizes? We'd like to talk to you about a 7-figure deal with a contract for the next 12 weeks and major points for you. Please contact us right away. Now, I don't know, they didn't leave a return address, you know, and I don't know, I'm kind of suspicious of this piece of fan mail. It was addressed to Mr. Dork Candy. Yeah, well. So let's wrap this up with a quote from W.C. Fields. Very appropriate. Reminds me of my safari in Africa. Somebody forgot the corkscrew. And for several days we had to live on nothing but food and water. Cheers.